What's up, everybody? Steve here. Today I'm going to talk about real estate taxes, property taxes, and how they are skyrocketing. I got an article that we're going to review, but also toward the end of the article, I'm going to talk about ways that you guys can reduce your property taxes and certain tips that you guys can do to basically hedge yourself away from the increasing skyrocketing real estate taxes that we have right now. And it is a big problem. It is a big problem, especially if you guys are buying in today's market. Assessed values are going up with the property values. So, if property values went up in your area 30% year over year, that's a significant cost that is really just pushing people out of home ownership, which in turn, I believe we're going to see more properties come to market because of this as well. So this article goes on to say some new numbers are painting a clear picture of how hard North Texas homeowners are getting hit by skyrocketing property tax appraisals. And now this is Texas, but I know a lot of other areas, even in Florida here, are getting hit hard. People are in fixed incomes, and just a slight increase is really hurting people. So it's not just in Texas. This guy Sharon and his family live in a small Collin County where the price of the average home is already steep at $600,000. But appraisals this year, like the one he received in the mail, are up more than 30% across the board, which makes the median home value now more than $900,000. I mean, you got to think about that. That's $300,000 more in assessed value. I mean, that's going to be significant on his real estate taxes, which I don't know exactly what they are per this article. Of the 293,000 homes appraised in Collin County this year, only 2,500 did not see their property values go up. I mean, that is such a small amount of homes that have not felt the increase in taxes. Now, what's unfortunate in this mega bubble that I believe that we're in is, people are not necessarily making a whole lot more money, but they're getting taxed a hell of a lot more. Property taxes, income taxes, sales taxes, everything that they're buying is increasing value, and their taxes on the things that they're buying are going up. So people are just getting taxed to death, and it's unfortunate that we don't have certain laws in place that basically will counter this kind of appreciation that was all artificially basically set up by our federal government and the Fed to put us into this predicament. Now, what can we do if you're in a situation right now where your taxes are increasing, or maybe you guys are in the process of buying, or whatever the case is? Your real estate taxes is a huge bill for many people, especially depending on where you live, or if you live on the water, it's going to be even more. So what can we do? For one thing, we want to check Homestead Laws. So in the state of Florida, again, every state's going to be different. In the state of Florida, we have our Homestead Act, which it's called Save Our Homes, and it caps the amount of taxation on your homestead to 3% annually. So the max it can go up is 3% annually if it's your homestead where you actually live. We want to check also other exemptions, seniors, veterans, people with disabilities. You want to check if there's any agricultural exemptions, if you guys are on maybe some acreage. So you want to check into your maybe even local ordinances as well to see if there are any additional exemptions that you guys can get that'll help alleviate the pain. One thing to take in consideration are improvements. So if you guys intend on improving your property, let's say that you guys are gonna put a pool in, or you're gonna add an addition, or you're gonna add an additional bathroom and bedroom. Any additional improvements, assuming you guys get them permitted, are going to be reflected with the property appraiser. So they're going to now compare your property with these improvements with other like-kind properties as well. And odds are when you do these improvements, it's going to bring your tax basis even higher. So take that in consideration is, if you guys are tight on money and you guys are planning on doing any kind of improvements to the property, that will increase your taxable value for your real estate. The next thing is you want to closely look at your tax bill, and then you want to compare your tax bill with your neighbors. So it's very important to do this because look, these tax assessors, they're utilizing in most cases computer programs to, you know, different algorithms to kind of pump out what they think your property is really worth. Now, your property might have the same tax value as your neighbor, but your neighbor might have a, you know, much more improved property or additional square footage, and you guys might be taxed the same. So it's very important to check the tax bills. Now, where I'm at in Lee County, Florida, I can simply go to the property appraiser site. I can literally click property by property and click all the tax bills and see what other people are paying, and basically compare apples and apples through that website. So a lot of counties do offer a property appraiser site where you guys can go in. Worst case, you can go in and talk to your tax assessor and tell them that you want to see all like-kind properties and all their tax bills as well, so you guys can do your full analysis. The next thing you can do, especially if you find some discrepancies in your tax bill compared to some of your neighbors, you can actually invite your tax assessor to come to your property and get inside your property and show that it is inferior to the property over here that's paying the same kind of tax bill. So, you know, that's always an option if you really want to get them physically inside of your property. The next thing is you can file what's called a tax appeal. So especially if you find discrepancies, you know, you regardless if you don't find discrepancies, this is something that I encourage you to do. If you guys are kind of paycheck to paycheck and, you know, this increase is just boxing you out, and you can actually physically talk to your tax assessor face to face and say, look, I'm getting crushed because of, you know, this vastly appreciating real estate market, not caused by myself. And, you know, my taxes just went up, you know, $300,000, $500,000 a year, and I simply can't afford it. Maybe they can, you know, take a look closer at your tax bill and see what they can do, and maybe they'll actually feel for you. But if you do have some legitimate discrepancies on your tax bill, then you can do a full-on appeal. The next thing, and lastly, is you. There are, even here locally, there are attorneys that specialize in real estate taxes, where they'll actually appeal on your behalf. They'll fight on your behalf, and you know, you can you can talk to these attorneys and see if financially it does make sense. You know, if it's a minimal cost and your tax bill went up $1,000 and they're going to charge you a few $100, then it might make sense to bring them on board to fight in your case. And also, if that is a possibility, and you have somebody in your area specializing to help out, you know, the public reducing their tax bills, then it might make sense to actually get your neighbors and neighborhood together, and maybe all work together as one with one attorney, and kind of bring down the cost of the attorney fees as well. So I think that we're in this strange time right now where everything is high. The cost of everything is freaking high, and people are squeezed to death. And this is one other thing that I think, unfortunately, is going to push people out of their homes. They're going to have to sell their homes, and it sucks. But hopefully this is something that could help you out. And if you know somebody else that this could help out, please pass this video along. And this channel is all about the housing market, updates on the housing market. So if you guys like this content, go ahead and subscribe. If you guys are a subscriber, I appreciate you guys being here, and I will see you guys on the next video. See you.